All right, let's dive right in. If you're a leader or a manager, you know that one of the biggest challenges, the thing that keeps you up at night, is building a great team, right? Getting the right people in the right seats. It's everything. But what if I told you the way most of us are doing it is just fundamentally flawed? Yeah? Let's get into it. So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You know that feeling, that constant struggle to find the perfect match, to line up a candidate's real skills with what a job actually needs? If you're sitting there nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. This is probably one of the biggest headaches for anyone in charge of a team. And this whole challenge usually comes down to a few common mistakes. We end up using these weak, kind of old school interview methods. Our interviews have no real structure, so we can't compare apples to apples between candidates. And what's the result? Well, hiring becomes less of a smart strategy and more of a high-stakes gamble. You're just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. And man, when you lose that gamble, the cost is just huge. A bad hire isn't just some small oopsie. It's a massive drain on everything. Your time, your money, your team's energy. It actually weakens your whole team's ability to get things done. And worse, it can create these long-term culture problems that just ripple out and affect everyone. But, and this is the important part, there is some really good news here. You don't have to keep rolling the dice. There's a proven way to stop the gambling and start hiring with real confidence. So let's put these two approaches side by side. Over here, you've got the traditional interview, right? It's full of those what would you do if hypothetical questions. And honestly, it relies a lot on just gut feel. But then on the other side, you've got the modern way, behavioral and competency-based interviews. This is a total game changer because it doesn't waste time guessing what someone might do. It digs into what they have actually done. And here's the golden rule. Past behavior is by far the best predictor of future performance. Simple as that. And that's exactly why this method, competency-based interviewing, is so incredibly powerful. It's not just a casual chat, It's a really structured method. Think of it like a focused investigation into the exact skills and behaviors, the competencies, that will lead to success in that specific job. Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually get good at this? It's one thing to know the theory, but how do you master this essential skill? Well, that's where this 2-day transformation comes in. We've broken this whole journey down into 2 really clear steps. Day 1 is all about building that solid foundation. You gotta understand the what and the why behind it all. Then, day 2 is where the magic happens. That's when you master the hands-on application and turn all that knowledge into a skill you can use again and again. So let's talk about a highlight from day 1. Right out of the gate, we hit you with a pretty provocative question. Are interviewers the ones who need to be interviewed first? And it's such a great place to start because honestly, so many of us have no idea about our own biases or the little mistakes we're making over and over again. So on this first day, you're really gonna learn to see your own blind spots, to identify your interviewing errors and gaps. You'll get up to speed on how the tools of the trade have evolved. And this is so important. You'll develop the right techniques for the modern workforce, for connecting with and properly assessing Gen Y and beyond. All right, then we get to day 2, and we really kick things up a notch. One of the key sessions asks, who is really doing the talking? And this is where you learn something that might surprise you. A truly great interview is often way more about listening and observing than it is about you talking. And this is where you'll pick up some seriously advanced skills. We're talking about mastering active listening for sure, but also learning to see what's not being said. You'll learn how to spot micro-expressions, those tiny split-second facial cues that people can't control, and how to read all the nonverbal signals. These are the skills that let you see right past the rehearsed perfect answers and get to the real person. And building right on top of that, another huge piece of day 2 tackles this age-old saying, actions speak louder than words. But is it true? This whole session is about one thing, validation. How do you actually check? How do you confirm that what a candidate is telling you is the real deal? And we're not just gonna talk about it. You're gonna get trained with super practical techniques to do just that. You'll learn exactly how to ask those smart, probing questions that check if the information is valid. You'll learn how to capture the right details, and best of all, you're gonna do this through hands-on, practical simulations where you get instant feedback from your peers. This is how you really sharpen your skills. So what's the results of all this training? What's the big payoff? Well, it's actually pretty simple, but it is so powerful. You will walk away fully equipped to size up any candidate, effectively and with total confidence. You'll go from just hoping you made the right choice to knowing you did. And every single person you hire will make your organization stronger, period. So you might be wondering, is this for me? Well, it's absolutely essential for hiring managers and talent recruiters, for sure. But it's also incredibly valuable for directors, team leaders, folks in HR. Honestly, it's for anyone and everyone whose job depends on building a stronger, more capable team. And here's what it all boils down to. This isn't just about becoming a better interviewer. No, it's bigger than that. When you master these approaches, you are making a direct, measurable contribution to the success of your entire organization. You become a strategic asset. Which brings us right back to that final, really crucial question. Look, in a world where having the best talent is the only real competitive advantage, the skill of identifying that talent, it's not a nice to have anymore. It is a core professional skill you need to survive. So I'll leave you with this one thought to chew on. Is your career future-proof?